Good morning. Everybody breathe. Just take 1 second to actively breathe. And 3 good ones. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. And then sip coffee. Okay, so last week I had a giveaway for a clean house from Clean Ink, which is local to my area. And when somebody entered the contest, they had to say why a clean house would help them for the holidays. And ladies, we need to talk about why we are allowing our houses to make or break our peace, because the overwhelming response I got was, my messy house gives me anxiety. I can never quite do a deep clean. I need help doing laundry. So much is wrapped up in our space and how we live in our space. So what I learned to do, so when I first had kids, I was like, my house is going to be spick and span, and I'm not going to, allow my kids to eat away from the kitchen table. But then what happens, and I think it doesn't matter if you have kids or not, what happens is life happens. So people are actually living in your house and using the things. And what I ended up doing was having a huge anxiety attack every day when I would wake up, just looking at the mess. But if we back up and look at our home, let's point out one thing. First of all, people live there. And unless you have a partner or kids who are extremely tidy, and you have to let go a little bit of these unreal expectations of a tidy house. Now, there are some people who can afford regular house cleaners. They can, they might have a nanny that comes in and does some tidying throughout the day. But for those of us who can't live in that, that type of lifestyle is not sustainable for us. What we need to do, and I know people are going to cringe when I say this, but you need to lower your expectations of your definition of the word clean. You need to redefine clean. Okay? So I learned how to do this when we moved from a 2,400 square foot house to a 900 square foot house. In fact, I think it was barely 900 square feet. So we had 2 adults, 3 children, a dog, in a 900 square foot house. So, and this was my husband lost his job. We filed for bankruptcy. We had to do a short sale on our house. So we literally couldn't afford it anymore. So before we moved, I realized that I could not fit all of our crap into this small, tiny house. So we got rid of so many things. And it pained me to get rid of those things, but I realized that there was just nowhere to put everything. So I started this huge purge, and really, this was before Marie Kondo, before the what does she say? What brings you joy? This was basically is this worth keeping? And really taking an assessment and an inventory of things that were truly important to us as a family. So we moved into our house, and then what happened was every time I left the house and maybe had an impulse to buy something or whatever, I thought, well, there's no way this is going to fit inside our tiny house. So on top of that, when you live in such a small space with so many people, you learn to like pick up after yourselves or not. I mean, sure, there were times where our house was just like a wreck, but I really believe, good morning, Eva. Cheers. I really believe that this clean house idea is like destroying our peace on a daily basis. So what I ended up doing is I sat back and I said, okay, we live in this very small space. People live here, and I got to give myself a break. So, there were times where, my husband or I would be like super stressed out about the clean house or lack of the clean house. And it would just like ruin our entire weekend because we would be cleaning and complaining, and it was just like the snowball effect. So your homework assignment today, something to think about, like let's plant this seed, is how can you take the stress of a clean house out of the equation? Do you have unrealistic expectations? If you can't afford to have somebody come over and like clean your house, or you don't have a nanny to help like tidy or whatever, what do you do? Because this is obviously a problem. I mean, I had probably 70 plus entries of people, and the same thing was, the same comment over and over again was anxiety. It gives me anxiety. It gives me stress. It takes me away from spending time with my family. So, is anybody resonating with this at all? Does your house give you the heebie-jeebies? Now, there was one other thing, and you know what? My therapist is good at pointing these things out. Like, if you step back and look at the natural, what's happening, like, not up here, what's happening here, but what's happening in the earth. So the other day I was complaining about why we had so many pots and pans every day. I'm like, we constantly have all these pots and pans are dirty in the sink. And then a little voice in my head said, Elizabeth, you like to cook from home, so of course there's going to be pots and pans dirty. Okay, so then I stepped back for a second and I thought, you know what, we're making a concerted effort not to eat out all the time and to make like fresh homemade meals. Well, that's a positive. So of course we're going to have these dishes. So it takes the pressure off you. Truly. So talk to me, ladies. What's the deal with us letting our houses and our spaces cause us more stress? Because it shouldn't be that way. Eva, yes. The old house, yes. Depression. Purge. Seriously. And if you're having a hard time getting rid of things, and this is why a therapist just comes into play, because you can dig a little bit deeper, like why do you have a problem dealing or getting rid of stuff? Good morning, Phil. How are you? Girls, we're talking about why we allow our messy spaces in our homes to destroy our peace. So what I'm working on, so I'm making goals for 2020. And what I really want to do, because all the people who responded were local-ish. I had a couple people respond from Rockford, and just like farther out on the outskirts of Kane County, which is the county I live in. So what I wanted to do was plan a task force of volunteers for 2020. And we could go in to all the people who entered into their homes and help them tidy. Or if they need somebody to do their laundry, like go in and just do their laundry for them. Now, I'm working out the details of this, but this is my goal. So anybody who entered the Clean House contest, I'm really going to work on trying to make all those clean houses happen. So I thought if I put together an awesome task force of people who were willing to come with me and help me clean and tidy people's houses, we could make a huge impact. Okay, so that's my goal for 2020. It's in the works. Logistically, I got to work on that. Okay, also, if you are seeing that a friend is stressed about her messy house, all the laundry, go over there. And it's embarrassing. Nobody wants you to see their messy house. But you know what? Go over. Say, I'm going to do a couple loads of laundry for you. Let me take that off your plate. Maybe have like a laundry washing party where like one weekend you go over and help wash and fold and put away laundry, and then the next weekend your friend comes over and helps you do it. Or like a house cleaning party. Girls, we got to get the stress of the clean house under wraps because it's not necessary. Ooh, Eva. Okay, Eva says, I made a commitment that everything needed to be unpacked and put away here. I'm down to the basement, and into 2020, I will now start having family come over because, yes, 2020 is for letting it go. You are into helping? Okay, girls, I'm so excited. So, Eva, yes, and I used to feel the same way. Like, I'm embarrassed of people coming over. In fact, when we had Thanksgiving dinner the other day and I was putting things out on the table, I noticed that some of the wine glasses had like spots on them. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to rewash all these glasses. And then I thought, you know what? This is not Downton Abbey. I do not have a Mrs. Patmore at my disposal. Carson isn't here polishing the silver. You know, I don't have a team, a squadron of people living under my roof helping me create the perfect house. So before we prayed and said grace for Thanksgiving dinner, I said, thank you so much for coming. If something's not warm enough or whatever, like give it to me, we'll put it in the microwave, but this isn't Downton Abbey. So, okay. Listen, loves. Let's breathe one more time. I know I've been talking quite a bit about that, but good reflections. Okay, it's Sunday. My family's off to church. Not like this. I have to go shower. And then I have to work today, which I'm excited about because I took a couple days to just chill and get the brain going again. How does everyone like my gray outgrowth? I'm getting better at accepting that. I mean, I can't live at my hair person shop. Okay. I choked. Phil and Eva, thank you for joining me this morning. I know there's more people out there, but for some reason I can't see who that is. Have a wonderful Sunday, girls, and I will catch you tomorrow morning at 6:45 because it's Monday. It's Monday tomorrow, right? Yes. Okay. Have a great weekend, girls. Bye.